It is also filled with gratitude for the memories that you all cherish, the love that was shared with everyone in this room, and the hope that we have in God. Today, may each of you find comfort in God's presence, strength in each other, and peace in the precious memories that each of you hold. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you today with grateful hearts as we gather to celebrate and honor a life that has been a blessing to so many. Though we grieve this loss, we thank you for your love. We thank you for memories and a legacy that remains in each of us. Your word reminds us that you are close to the brokenhearted. We ask that you comfort the Holbeck family and all those who mourn today. Fill this place up with your peace, strengthen us with your presence, and remind us of the hope that we have. As we share memories, songs, poems, and words of tribute, may this celebration service bring comfort to those who grieve and honor as we celebrate today. In your name we pray. Amen. At this time, you may be seated. I would like to call up Miles Charette, who will be sharing in song.
Good morning, everybody. Um, my sincerest condolences to the Holbeck family. I mean, while Kate was here, Kate was such a light, and though Kate is no longer with us, her light will forever live on. So. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. 'Cause I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Was blind, but now I see.
Thank you so much, Miles. It is indeed amazing grace that saves us. Grace that we can only find in our God. I would like to call on Kieran, who'll be sharing a poem, and followed by Kieran, Mom Natasha, who'll be sharing the eulogy. Please come
Uh, this is Come to Forest to Visit Me by, is it, is it good? By Lord Lurana Brown. Come to the forest to visit me, down by the roots of a tree. Waste not your tears on cold stone graves. Water a flower for me. Give me to the earth when my winter comes. Bury me deep in the ground. Mark not my place with statues or caves. Find me where life can be found. Come to the woods when autumn leaves turn, golden and copper and red. Rustle up memories, seeds of joy stored. Kick up the leaves in my stead. Visit a garden on warm summer days. Keep company with blossoms and bees. Remember my heart blooms forever in yours. Take comfort from shushing shade trees. Let springtime surround you with life and the living, bird song and budding green leaves. Look up at the sky. Give thanks for sun and rain. When you think of me, smile more than grieve. Come to the forest to visit me, down by the roots of a tree. Live every day that is given to you. Water a new flower for me.
I have so many really awesome memories of Kate. Recently, we found a show that we both became really addicted to and would watch live, kind of the way I used to watch Grey's Anatomy live, running home Thursday nights. I was the only one that watched Grey's Anatomy, but then Kate and I found The Pit. In fact, Brendan was a little jealous, so he got caught up and started watching The Pit with us. But it kind of made sense because the pit was so real and it explored so many of life's real hard truths. Yet you still saw hope. You still saw how ordinary men and women could make a difference, a real difference in people's lives, and that all people are deserving of love, care, and dignity regarding of their station in life. Kate's been an activist since she was very young. Just ask anyone at St. Matthias. Defending anyone who couldn't stand up for themselves, whether she thought someone was being bullied or when someone of color was particularly being bullied, or calling out women's rights and standing up for them quite strongly, even against me, when I thought someone was maybe a little too old to be wearing a certain kind of outfit, or even more passionately, the LGBTQ community, which was very, very important to her. She was also very, very quick to defend her brother and her sister. And remember, she was the baby. But she loved them so fiercely. We used to call Kate and Kieran our Irish twins. They weren't exactly 11 months apart, but they grew up as if they were twins. They're so close in age, and for a long time, they were each other's best friends. One of her favorite things to do, much to Kieran's irritation, was to give him dating advice, which was always a hoot because, you know, Kieran would then just rag on her and come up with the most outrageous pickup lines and things to say to girls that would just mortify her. And she would honestly try and correct and course correct him to help him be better at being a good boyfriend one day, because he had potential. And she would even help him, you know, with hair and skincare and fit. But there were many a hard eye roll. Man, we laughed a lot at that kitchen table. I think we spent more time at that kitchen table than anywhere else in our house. Jamie, oh, she looked up to her sister. Some of her favorite bands that she loved were because of Jamie. So many times, we would be calling and calling Kate to come downstairs to eat, and only to find she's on the phone FaceTiming with Jamie while Jamie's in Philadelphia getting ready to go out on a night on the town. But they're just chit-chatting while Jamie's doing her makeup, and Kate's just sitting there doing her homework. But, you know, yeah, okay, I've got it. I'm on the phone with Jamie. And then she'd come downstairs still on the phone with Jamie, and we're like, you can't be sitting on the phone with Jamie while we have dinner time. But that's how close they were, even though they're 5 years apart. But when everyone is home, wow, there is no bigger joy in a mother's heart to hear that laughing in the kitchen. Now, granted, it might have been after a little bit of nagging, okay, a lot of nagging from Brendan to get the chores done. When my house is full, my heart is full. I can clearly picture that image, and those of you who were here yesterday might have seen the headphones, and in some of the photos you've seen, Kate always had her headphones. She was sensitive to sound, and so she always walked around with those headphones. But when they washed dishes, they all wore the headphones. And so if you picture this for just a moment, they would have their headphones on. So it's kind of like a silent disco in our kitchen, where everyone's listening to different music, dancing to different beats. And then you got two dogs just running around underfoot. It's a lot of crazy chaos. And then every now and then you'd hear Brendan again screaming in the background, get done with the dishes, you got to walk the dogs. But it was still just a beautiful kind of chaos in our house. Every now and then, if we were lucky, a little pastry chef would decide to make some brownies or cake or blondies, usually at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. And I didn't complain because that was a definite bonus for me when I woke up in the morning and I could have a little treat with my coffee before I went to work. She was so good. Her skills at not just cake baking, but decorating, she was incredible. I fancy myself a really good baker, but I can't decorate for shit. Kate was really good, really, really good. She could make it pretty. I would bake the cake and I'd be like, all right, girl, let's do your thing. She was so good. But it extended even beyond that. Her makeup skills, both her and Jamie, let's just say they didn't get it from me. I'm wearing lipstick and that's about as far as I get. They had to YouTube that because they didn't get it from their mama. And then her writing and her artwork, there was so much creativity in her soul, as you've seen in the pictures all around. Her imagination was so vivid. She wrote the most incredibly realistic stories, although probably a little bit more Stephen King than romantic novels. So there's that. I remember clearly in middle school, Brendan and I got a concerning call from one of the teachers that, maybe you got to take a look at Kate. Secretly, Brendan and I were very, very impressed with the level of writing. We were like, okay, we're going to be rich one day off this kid. She's always been a prolific artist. I could tell you so many stories. Again, from St. Matthias, she would do people's art on their behalf, and I think Cole paid her a lot of money to do his artwork. But when she took those classes at the Zimley Art Museum, it changed everything for her. She always had the love of art, but two things happened at Zimley. One, it was the first place she felt seen. She was finally fully accepted as all of her. It was the first place where she could go by Kyle. She went to Catholic school, right? She could never go by Kyle. And Zimley is where she could exist fully and freely as Kyle. And it was also the place where they taught her about all sorts of different forms of art. And she was immersed in everything, and she loved it. She went back year after year until she aged out of the program. In fact, this year she was planning to go back and be an assistant to help other kids find their passion within art. And so that was part of why we chose the Zimley Art Museum as a place to donate instead of sending flowers. It was a place that was so special to Kate. And before any of you give me a hard time for calling her Kate and not calling her Kyle, her and I had so many conversations about that. She was okay existing in different spaces, in different names. And it was okay to be fluid and be different. And we were okay with that. And we respected all of her wishes. And I checked in regularly with her about how she wanted to be referred to. And so we've always tried to respect that and have honest conversations about what she wanted. And we stayed true to that, or we try to stay true to that as much as possible. She knew that as her mom, I always had her back. But even so, life wasn't easy for my baby. I can't always be there. Her dad can't always be there. She has to go out in the world and live her life without us. And so I thought I would also share just a few lesser known facts about Kate that made her misunderstood by so many people and maybe caused some of the significant pain that she went through. She was diagnosed quite late as high-functioning autism. Things we didn't know and we came to learn is that autism shows up very differently in girls, and particularly teen girls, and they learn to mask it for a very, very long time. And there's maybe because girls are smarter and they're more emotionally acute, and so it's easier for them to do that. So a couple things. They tend to have above average artistic abilities. No shit. We figured that out. We were like, that makes sense. They come across as shy, but they can experience hyper moments when they are very comfortable in their surroundings. Just ask some of my friends who've seen her belt out shots. And then you're like, who is this Kate? We don't really know. They avoid eye contact. It's very hard to make prolonged eye contact. It's very difficult. And in some cultures, that might be considered disrespectful and rude. And so people didn't respond to that very well because they're expecting you to look them in the eye because that's a sign of respect in most places. Sound sensitivity, hence the headphones. And yeah, I really do have to give a special shout out to her high school STA, who were very gracious in giving her the accommodations to walk around with her headphones and let her be herself and feel comfortable, even though maybe some of the students didn't understand because they were not allowed to, but she was allowed to exist in that space in a comfortable way. Another thing, they can be very stressed if someone disagrees with them about a topic they care a lot about. Oh, that is something that caused so much distress everywhere because she cared a lot about a lot of topics and she went wide and deep. So there were many debates, including at our kitchen table. So I'm not sure who Brendan plans to debate after Jamie and Kieran go to college, but it ain't going to be me. So just saying, better be calling up friends. All of you that said, just call me, just know you'll be called for debates. They're often also unsure of their personality. So they end up mimicking those around them, right? So the people they like and they enjoy spending time with, they mimic their personality so that they can fit in. And when I first read that, I fact-checked that with her because I obviously did a lot of research because that's my type A personality. And she affirmed it. And I said, oh my gosh, babe, that seems so exhausting. And she said, yeah, that's why I'm tired at the end of the day, because it's a lot of different people that I'm trying to be like and feel like and laugh when they laugh and figure out if this is the right time to laugh and make the kind of joke that will resonate. I'm like, I get why you're so tired and you're not just being lazy when you get home at the end of a long school day, in addition to taking a full load of classes. When it finally clicked for me, I sobbed so hard, but I hugged her so hard because I had misunderstood so much about my girl. They also have a very hard time with gender norms. It's another topic her and I spent many, many hours discussing. We don't need to be defined by labels. She was so concerned about finding the right label and getting consumed by it. And her dad and I didn't care. We don't care. We just love you. We don't need to be defined by labels. And so I tell you this and I share this with you. Just love one another and above all, be kind to one another. For much of her life, Kate did not understand any of this. She just struggled along, and neither did we. But once we all did, Kate in particular worked so hard to manage through everything she had to endure, and she did it with love and grace and support from friends who became family here in Somerset, the people that all showed up this past week. Great friends like Valerie and Sophia that you're going to hear from later on. The team at Princeton House who cared for her most recently. The team at Family and Community Services of Somerset County in Bound Brook who have been taking care of her since, I guess, the summer after 8th grade. And lastly, the teachers, admin, and the nursing staff at St. Thomas Aquinas. Our family is forever changed with the loss of our baby, and I admit I don't know exactly how we will move on, how we will move forward. Sometimes the pain is quite paralyzing. I think I finally get that phrase. There's that song, I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Pray to a God that I don't know if I can say I don't believe in, because I still do believe in God, but I definitely pause. I definitely sometimes have to remind myself to breathe. This week has been a blur, but we have been so fortunate to be covered in love and held up by the countless members of this community. I've got my BNLA, I've got the soccer community, I've got the broader Franklin community, I've got my Deloitte family, I've got my family from back home, the family that's traveled from afar. We've got a lot of support, the family, the friends that have become family. I don't know that Kate knows how much she has been loved. Kate, you have left a void that no other can fill. But how blessed are we to have been graced with your brilliant mind and your beautiful soul. We love you. Thank you.
Those were beautiful memories, beautiful words. And often in our tradition, in our cultures, many things happen around the kitchen table. And the kitchen table is where you lean from today. Let that be a special place in your home. I'm going to call Miles Shred, who will be rendering just one more item for us. And thereafter, we will call on family and friends to share their remarks. Please join us, Miles.
I guess I could say a couple words. This next song is Wonderwall by Oasis. And as you can tell over there, that was one of Kate's many favorite music to listen to. And just kind of after Kate's passing, I was able to kind of be immersed into what Kate was listening to and Kate's playlist. And wow, Kate listens to so much different types of music. You think Kate would like one thing, but Kate just likes everything. And music was definitely such a huge part of Kate's life. And so I'm so honored that you guys asked me to do this and be a part of this music. Okay. as they're getting the track together now. Start it over. Thank you. And this is going to be our celebration song, so feel free to sing along, please. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead you there are blinding. And there are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder-wall. 2 doors gonna be the door that will never throw it back to you. Right now you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the ways we have to walk are winding, and all the light can lead you there are blinding. And there are many things that I would like to show you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder-wall. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder-wall. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. I'm gonna need everyone's help for this next part. I need us all to sing. Can everybody do that? So Kate can hear. Ready? 'Cause maybe You're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder wall. That's beautiful. One more time. Come on. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder. I lied. One more time. Louder. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. And after all, you're my wonder wall. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miles. Music does something to us. You guys couldn't see the view I had. But through the tears and the pain, when we remembered these beautiful words of the song, I saw smiles on the faces of these four standing right here. And may these be the memories that bring smile and brings laughter to you in the midst of this pain. I'm going to call upon a few family members and friends who will share some words of love and words of comfort to the family. I'll call them in this order so you could just line up so we could have you in an orderly fashion. Valerie, Mr. Pete, Reese, and then Jamie. And Sophia.
Good morning. For those who may not know me, my name is Valerie. I was blessed to be a close friend of Kate, otherwise known as Kyle by some of our friends. When I think of Kyle, a certain memory comes to mind. The day that we first met. It was the first week of freshman year, and we bonded over our shared music taste in theology class. That night, we talked for hours. She showed me her art, and I remember thinking, what a talented person. Ever since, Kyle was a friend that I could tell anything to without any fear of judgment. And that was my favorite thing about her. She was so welcoming, loving, caring, and warm. If you knew Kyle, then you knew that he was such a knowledgeable person. No matter the topic, he could always talk on. And that's the thing I miss most about them. The early mornings in French class where we would have the world's unhealthiest breakfast of some sort of energy drink and a bag of chips. And we would talk about the strangest things until the bell rang. Kyle brought so much color into the world through his art and his love. And I admire him so much. I want to continue to just live like he did. A life of passion for art and music and all the things that he loved. Thank you.
I'm Kate's friend, Sophia. We met when we were both freshmen at STA, but we really gotten to know each other during this past school year. It would be impossible to summarize the impact something like that has had on your life in a few short words, but I'll try my best. Being with Kyle was always easy. Whether it was bonding over our shared love for the show House or 9 Inch Nails, or joking about ridiculous things that only we found funny, our conversation was never dull. Some of our best times together was spent laughing during our insanely difficult chemistry class this past year. We were probably the loudest people in the room. Kyle was undoubtedly one of the most genuine people I know. From what I've seen during my time in high school, most people are so focused on adopting a false persona just to appease others. However, Kyle never bothered to atone to other people's standards. This was one of the things I admire most. He never pretended to be something else or take interest in something solely because it was popular. You could always count on Kyle to be honest with you, which I think is one of the most valuable aspects of friendship. Kyle taught me more than I think any friend ever has, not only in terms of being wildly educated on obscure subjects and readily willing to divulge in them, but also the way in which he saw the world. Kyle was able to see the beauty in many things that most people would overlook. He had a way of complimenting things you viewed as flaws in ways that made you see yourself in a whole new light. Being friends with him opened my eyes to diverse perspectives and helped me see beauty differently too. Kyle had such an incredibly creative mind. There was self-expression and distinct style in everything he created. I make art too, but never anything as personal and evocative as Kyle did. It came so freely to him, almost like a second nature. It's rare to come across a person as passionate and unique as Kyle. I'm grateful to have met such a beautiful person with whom I share so many fond memories with. And I just hope that Kyle knows how loved he is. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Mr. Carlotti. I was Kate's middle school teacher for 2 years straight, 7th and 8th grade. I was lucky enough to have them 2 years in a row, and she was in my homeroom for both years. And I thought I'd just share a story about her that I still think about. So behind my desk, I have a blackboard that I like to put kids' art up during the course of the year. And all 7th grade, I was, Kate, give me a piece of art. Let me hang something up of yours. You're such a great artist. Let me show it off. And all year blowing me off. No, shaking her head. Nope, nothing, not giving me anything. Finally, 8th grade, probably October, she gives me some art, and I hang it up, magnets, not tape. I didn't want to ruin anything. And I hang it up, and she sat up at the front right near the Promethean board because she was the DJ every morning putting on music, which was fine by me because we had the same taste in music, so it was great. And it's up there, and another kid put up some art, and then another kid put up some art, and then one day someone put up some art, and they were signing it with like a big flourish, and part of the marker got on her art, and the next morning she was there and she saw it. She didn't say anything. She just walked up. She took it down. It wasn't covering anything big. It was just on the edge. Just a little piece of the white got hit by the marker. She took out scissors and she cut right around it and cut it off, and she threw out that piece, and then she took her scissors and put them back in her desk, and then she took the art and put it back in the desk. And I said, Kate, what's the deal? Like, what? Can I have the art back? Like, it was just an accident. And she's like, no, you're not getting it back. You didn't respect the art. You didn't keep care of it enough, right? You didn't take care of it. And first, it took me back for a second, and I was like, whoa, like, it wasn't like the audacity of this kid to take back the art they had given me. They're going to, take back a gift that they had given me. No, it wasn't that. It was, I stopped and I was like, she's right. She got me, right? Like, I'm here. I'm the teacher. And she was like, you didn't look after it enough, so you don't get it back. That was, and that really stuck with me, because here's this kid, this 8th grader, talking to their teacher, and she had the conviction, the strength, the belief in her art enough to say, no, you're not getting it back because you didn't take care of it when I gave it to you. You're maybe later. And eventually I got some more, and we did various art projects during the school year, but that's just a memory, a story of mine that I wanted to share about her and my time with her.
I'll be honest, no words can truly express what we are feeling today. Standing here is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Saying goodbye to our Kate is something we never imagined we would have to face. 16 years feels impossibly short, and yet somehow in those 16 years, she managed to leave a lifetime of memories behind. People often say that cousins are your first friends, your first built-in best friends, and our dear Kate was the very definition of that. She wasn't just our cousin, she was someone we grew up alongside, laughed with, learned from, and loved deeply. She was woven into so many of our happiest memories that it's impossible to think of our childhoods and family gatherings without thinking of her. Kate had a way of making every room feel lighter. Her contagious laugh could spread through the house before you even knew what was funny. Her bright smile, her quick wit, and the little twinkle in her eyes whenever we were all belly laughing are just a few of the countless things we'll miss. She had a sense of humor that made even the simplest moments unforgettable. When I think about Kate, I don't just remember the big moments, I remember the little ones, the moments that seemed ordinary at the time, but now mean everything. I think about birthdays, holidays, family gatherings, trips to the Poconos, and baking cookies together after everyone else had gone to bed. Somehow, those late-night baking sessions always turned into conversations, laughter, and memories that will stay with us forever. Kate had a gift for taking ordinary moments and turning them into something extraordinary. She reminded us that joy didn't have to come from grand occasions. It could be found in simply being together. One of my favorite memories will always be when she came to South Africa for a family gathering. She stood there with her arms crossed, looking completely puzzled, and asked me, "Why are you calling my grandmother your grandmother?" I tried to explain that we shared the same grandmother, but that was our Kate. She was not afraid to ask questions, no matter how funny they sounded at 3 years old. She wanted to understand everything. She approached the world with curiosity, confidence, and just the right amount of sass. That curiosity never left her. Kate had a remarkable thirst for knowledge. She was incredibly intelligent, but what made her intelligence so special wasn't just how much she knew, it was how eager she was to keep learning. She wanted to understand people, ideas, music, art, and the world around her. She never stopped asking questions, and she never stopped growing. When I first moved to New Jersey, I had the privilege of living with my aunt, uncle, and cousins. Looking back now, I realize what a gift that time was. Kate would wait for me to come home from college so we could immediately tell each other about our days. She would patiently proofread my essays, making sure everything sounded just right. And then we'd curl up on the couch to watch Criminal Minds. The episode was never really the end of the night. Afterwards, we'd spend ages talking about it, sharing theories, laughing, and somehow ending up discussing completely unrelated topics. It always amazed me that no matter what we were talking about, Kate seemed to have a random fact tucked away somewhere in her mind. There was always something new to learn from her. She was wise beyond her years. Kate also had an incredible sense of justice. She stood up for what was right, spoke up for people who needed someone in their corner, and wasn't afraid to use her voice. She cared deeply about others. She was compassionate, thoughtful, and fiercely loyal to the people she loved. If Kate loved you, you knew it. She made people feel safe, accepted, and understood. She was deeply creative, and her love for music and art reflected the beautiful way she experienced the world. Creativity wasn't just something she enjoyed. It was a part of who she was. Whether through music, art, or conversation, Kate found ways to express herself that were uniquely her own. Today, we stand here not just as family, but as cousins whose lives have been forever changed by having Kate in them. On behalf of all of us, near and far, I want to say what an incredible privilege it was to grow up with her, to laugh with her, and to call her our cousin. One of the greatest gifts in this world was being loved by Kate. She was our fierce protector, our biggest cheerleader, our partner in laughter, and someone who made us all feel like we belonged. She taught us that intelligence and kindness can exist together. She taught us that asking questions is a strength, that laughter is healing, and that love is often found in the smallest moments. Kate, thank you. Thank you for every laugh that made our stomachs hurt. Thank you for every late-night conversation, every random fact, every inside joke, every memory, and every moment that made our family feel whole. Thank you for reminding us to stay curious, to stand up for what is right, to love deeply, and to never lose our sense of wonder. Although your life was far too short, your impact was immeasurable. You have changed us for the better by simply being yourself. Being your cousins has been one of the greatest gifts our family has ever been given. We will miss you every single day. We will carry your laughter with us, your kindness, your courage, and your love with us for the rest of our lives. Until we meet again, keep making heaven laugh. We love you always and forever.
Good morning. My name is Bernadette, and I jumped in because we wanted to make sure that her other aunts, Aunt Bernadette, Aunt Lori, and Aunt Angela, got to share some stories of our love. Over the last decade, our children grew up together, countless outings and parties and lots of shots and karaoke and vacation. Kate is forever part of our family stories. Our children celebrated First Communion and graduations together. We clapped along as Kate and Brenton took the microphone and started to rap in Cape May. We can see Frankie, Kieran, and Kate skipping in Disney World on the Disney Boardwalk. I remember swimming with Jamie and Kate and snorkeling in the reefs in Palm Beach and wading in the waters in the rainforest in Puerto Rico. But one of my favorite memories is really recently, over Thanksgiving, we had the chance to visit Rome. We were standing in the Vatican, waiting to go into the holy doors. Kate's eyes were all over the place. She's looking at the saints all around St. Peter's Square. She starts naming the saints, which she could easily identify by their symbol. And she turns and she asks Kieran, "Oh, is that Saint this or Saint that?" Right? He's like, "I don't know." Well, I was standing next and I was like, "Oh God, she's going to ask me next." So I quickly, put the Vatican app up so I can, seem a little knowledgeable. Luckily, the line moved and I didn't get, caught. Yes, I could just agree with her. But she didn't embrace the Catholic faith, but she knew her stuff. She really did. She really knew her history. As I was thinking of what to say about Kate, it was, a struggle to find something to say that nobody else knew, because she lived her passions out loud. We all knew what Kate was about, right? Even when she was a young girl, and maybe everybody does remember her dress phases, right? She used to show up in the fanciest, cutest little dress. Didn't matter if we were going to the cafeteria, right? All her eyes were on Kate, right? She was the cutest thing. As a preteen and a teen, her expression was in her clothes and her many hair colors, right? If she loved a band, it was pinned on her shirt. When she followed anime, it covered, all of her sketchbooks. You knew what she was watching. She never shied on an opinion at all. She was a little sister who we heard a lot about, was ready to argue with her peers and, with the adults. The white carpet in her bedroom never stood a chance, Natasha, right? Between her science experiments, starting fires, her artwork on the floor, that was really short-lived. Many words have been spoken about her, and all consistently saying how brilliant and talented and curious she was. A little of a nonconformist, but she was ours. She was our Kate. She lived a short life, deep with passion, and a little short on hope. She tried to let us see her view of the world. She couldn't wait for us to catch up to her. We'll get there. We'll get there. In joy and sadness, our families are united. If some good can come from this loss, maybe we learn to live our passions and keep a lot of hope in our lives. I always say life is full of hellos and goodbyes. This goodbye came a little too soon. Now, in the words of one of Kate's songs, it's time to let her go. Kate is in the wind and the sky. Now she's free, she's whole, she's endlessly loved, and she has eternal peace.
Hello, I'm Jamie, her older sister. I wrote mine a little differently than others. I wrote this to Kate. Dear Kate, my sweet, beautiful baby. Whether you knew her as Kate or Kyle, you felt her extraordinary presence in this world. Ever since we were little, you copied everything I do. You read the same books, listen to the same music, and explore the same interests and hobbies I had. And yeah, that used to annoy me so bad, but I'm forever grateful that I realized how much you just look up to me. I hope I was a good role model for you, because despite your age, you were for me. You made me a kinder, more considerate person. I'm so glad we got to spend the last week together on vacation. We'd get up later than the rest of our family, and right after breakfast, we'd immediately get pina coladas, one with rum and one without, even though I'd always let you have a sip of mine. This goes without saying, but you are truly my best friend. Over the years, we've bonded over never truly belonging or doubting others' sincerity, but it never mattered because we always have each other. You let me be the little emo 13-year-old that never truly left, just subsided due to fear of public perception. That is one of the things I truly admire about you. You're always so unapologetically you. Always in whatever clothes you want and styling your hair and makeup however crazy you want. I always envied that sense of creativity, whether it be in how you presented yourself, decorated your room and belongings, or in your artwork. I thought it was so cute how we both got the most artistic superlative in graduating middle school. But I'm so proud of how you've progressed and have completely surpassed any and all of my talents. You are far more talented than I could ever be. Whenever anyone new has stepped into my dorms or apartments at school, the first thing I always do is show off your artwork that I keep up every year. It's usually followed by a long ramble of how talented and cool and funny you are. Do you know how many times I've actually been asked, wait, you also have a brother? Because I...
Wow.
Sorry, Kieran. But it's because I just genuinely never stop talking about you. I've always been immensely proud, which I think is pretty evident if you've ever had a conversation with me. You're a ray of beautiful, warm sunlight in my life. I tried so hard to be that for you. And I'm sorry that I can be a bitchy older sister sometimes. Excuse my language. I hope you know that never reflected how I thought about you. You and Kieran have been my babies since you were born. I wish I could have done more to support you in the ways that you've supported me all throughout my life. This past semester, I experienced a deep depression for the first time in my life. No one else knew, but you let me call you countlessly while I procrastinated every responsibility, And in that time, you validated my emotions and actually gave me great anxiety relieving skills. I don't know if you know, but you really helped to pull me out of a dark place. I wish I wasn't so absorbed in my own mind, so I could have maybe done the same for you. I wish I could have shielded you away from all the mean people in your life and from your own thoughts. But I know that wherever you are now, you're finally at peace. I know you gave Minnie the biggest hug and kiss for all of us, so thank you. But today, I want to celebrate how beautiful you are. God, you've always been so much more beautiful than me. Like, how does someone not have an ugly face? I don't get it. But not only that, your soul is just so pure and full of love. I can still feel your presence strong around me. I know how much you've loved deer your entire life, so when I see the deer walking around, they stop and stare at me. I know that's you looking at me. We've both had our bouts of believing in prayer or not, and maybe you think it's ridiculous that I've been praying to you, but I feel you, especially in those moments. You comfort me and dry my tears, just like you always have. Growing up with our father, who had inspired curiosity in us, has made us ponderous about the world. It led us to many conversations, a few of which concerned how we want our lives to be celebrated. I know you wanted me to be in a tight little skimpy dress today, like I'm going to the club, and I'm sorry I'm not, but I hope this suffices. I will always miss loudly singing the music we love together, songs that others look at us crazy for. I love our little drives, and when we show each other different music or just repeat the same songs we always have. Anytime Helena by My Chemical Romance came on in the car, conversation stopped, the volume went up, and we'd scream the lyrics so hard. We fortunately got to see them live last summer, and I'll always remember how tight I held onto you as we screamed. We'll meet again when both our cars collide, and continue to lose our voices for the rest of the night. I know we're both reactive people, but the words of Gerard Way, things are better if I stay. So long and good night. So long and good night. I love you forever.
I'm gonna try. To Katherine, my warrior princess, the defender of those who felt that couldn't defend themselves, the fighter for those who could not fight for themselves, the upholder of the truth and justice, and the protector for those needing protection from the wrongs of this world. Nothing fazed you. You never backed down from a fight. You had your facts, believed in what you knew was right, stood strong, and were always frustratingly in the right. You fought your demons daily and won, but this last fight took too much from you, and you were defeated in your final field of battle. May we all raise our swords and staffs in your honor and carry on the fight in your memory. You left your mark on me, and I will grieve until the end of my time. You fought your demons, but sometimes even the strong among us fail. You fought them for a long time and beat them at every step. You shouldered your pain and carried it, no matter how much it hurt you. The night you left us, the heavens opened up, and the gods and angels cried. The gods were angry, and they voiced their anger with lightning and thunder, flinging them down to warn those who had hurt her that vengeance will be swift. But I know that all the gods that you believed in welcomed you with open arms and brought you into their fold to comfort you and give you the love that you deserved. May all the gods be blessed with what they have gained by having you next to them. The world will be a sadder place without you. I am so sorry I didn't see or comprehend what was hurting you, though I think I tried. You were an old soul living in a young body, and you decided how you wanted to go out. As much as it breaks me, I can only admire the strength and determination in you. I loved you so much, and I do feel guilty for not doing all the things I wanted to do with you. There just wasn't enough time, or the moment was just not right. I wanted you to tell me when you were ready because I didn't want to force it on you. Maybe I should have, but I didn't. We had fun times though, and I appreciate you letting me travel with you to Ireland, where I think we connected a little, because I felt you trusted me a little more. Kids, be kind to your friends. Parents, be kind to your kids. Listen to them and speak up. Don't be selfish with your feelings. Nothing that has been done can be undone, but when we listen and pay attention, we can sometimes avoid disasters. There is already so much hurt and hate out there, and the only way we can overcome this is to be kind and to love one another. I tried to be kind to Kate, but unfortunately I still had my parental duties that probably limited how much she felt she could trust me. We fought a lot, and maybe I should have listened more instead of raising my voice. Yet I always look forward to our vocal sparring, even though it pissed off everybody around us. Conversations about anything from religion, politics, music, books, to just about any topic you can think of. I was always impressed by your vast knowledge of just about everything, and if you didn't know it, you would research it until you did. I loved hearing your opinions, and I respected and was excited to hear them. You loved your music, and you lived through your love of that music. You could recite facts about bands and the songs that blew my mind. I now think that I should have paid more attention, should have listened even more closely to the lyrics that meant so much to you. My favorite time of the day was when I drove you to school, because it would just be the two of us, not saying anything, just being there with you, me trying to impress you with my driving skills, and you not seeming to care about it and just sitting there listening to your music. You trusted me with that. I know that. We didn't have to speak. I always hated saying the words goodbye, so I always say, be good, do good, and you would reply, I love you. And that always made my day. And I wake up every morning thinking it was all a bad dream, that you will be lying in bed, and I'll ask you to get up, to eat something so you can take your meds, or feed the dogs, or do anything just to get you up. You never complained about it to my face, but you would always do what I asked you to do. I'm gonna miss those moments more than I can say. There will always be questions asked and no answers given, but I have to hold on to the belief that you made a decision you felt was right, and that you are now forever without pain and suffering. Go in peace, my warrior princess, and may your light forever shine bright in those who love you. You were the deer to my raven. Some flowers bloom for a century long, but a child's sweet life is a spark. Like a bright dandelion, they mirror the sun, leaving a beautiful mark. Then they become like the silver moon, soft, weightless, and free. And finally, they turn into the stars as far as the eye can see. They did not disappear today. They just became the whole sky, scattered like hope on the wings of the wind, too beautiful ever to die. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much to everyone who shared. One thing that grief will remind us of is how deeply we are loved. While your hearts ache that Kate is no longer with you, love does not disappear. The memories, the laughter, the lessons, and the impact that she had on your lives will remain. There will be days when this loss feels overwhelming, but there is a promise that you will never walk alone. So I encourage you, family, take those trips. Go to the museum. Go to the concerts with your children. Take those drives to schools. Let those memories live on. Continue to love. Continue to accept. And continue to be there for each other. This road is not going to be an easy one. But together, as family, as community, as friends, both here and afar, come together. Come together to celebrate the life of Kate. On behalf of the Holbeck family, they would like to express their sincere gratitude to every one of you who's shown up, who showed support for prayers, phone calls, meals, flowers, donations, and all acts of kindness during this difficult season. A special thanks to the Charette family, the Secure family, Squeo family, the Policio family, the Glenn family, I apologize if I'm messing that up, the Castillo family, the Peterson family, Christina Fortean family, Tahila Smith, and most importantly, the Deloitte family. If I've missed anyone, please do forgive me. Your compassion and support during the last couple of days and has been a strength, has been comfort, and the family is deeply appreciative of that. As we're about to leave, we ask that we do so in an orderly manner. I'm going to ask the pallbearers to please come forward. The pallbearers will lead us, and then the immediate family and close friends will then follow. and then the rest of us could go out in an orderly fashion, as we are going to do a dove release outside. But as we close, I'd like to close in prayer before we leave. Let us stand as we pay honor to Kate today. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your presence here today. Thank you for the life we have celebrated, the memories that were shared, and the comfort that you've given to each of us today. As we leave here now, I pray, Lord, that you will surround the Holbeck family with your love, with your peace, and your strength in the days ahead. Lord, help each of us to cherish each other, to live each day in faith, hope, and with love. Now, go in peace, and let these memories live on in your hearts forever. Amen.
Family and friends, I'd like you all to please remain as
The family also requests that you join them for the repast. The information is on the sheet.
sure you got that before I leave. I'll leave with it. Okay.
Take care, man. Kiss your wife and your family, man. Make sure everybody's good. All right.
You would not believe your eyes if 10 million fireflies lit up the world as I fell asleep. 'Cause they fill the
Come on, table.
open.
Yeah, back here if you don't mind. How you doing? I'm going to explain the meaning of the doves first. Then I'm going to have someone read the poem. You have someone you want to read the poem? You have someone you picked to read the poem? Anyone want? Okay. I'm going to explain the meaning of the doves first. I'll have the poem read. And then when I play the song, during the song anytime, there's a handle right there, the tip of the heart right there. Pick them both up at the same time. Okay, so anytime, take your time. When you feel it in the song, you do it, okay? So there's no rush, okay?
1,000 hugs from 10,000 lightning bugs as they tried to teach me how to dance. A foxtrot above my head, a sock hop beneath my bed. A disco ball is just hanging by a thread. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. Leave my door open just a crack, 'cause I feel like such an insomniac. Please take me away from here. Why do I tire of counting sheep? Please take me away from here. When I'm far too tired to fall asleep.
No.
To 10 million fireflies, I'm weird 'cause I hate goodbyes. I got misty eyes as they said farewell, but I'll know where several are if my dreams get real bizarre, 'cause I saved a few and I keep them in a jar. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. I like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. It's hard to say that I'd rather stay awake when I'm asleep, 'cause everything is never as it seems. I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns
Good.
slowly.
This thing heats up. It sometimes malfunctions a little bit when it gets too hot up on this thing.
Because my dreams are bursting at the seams.
second. Have your attention, please. On behalf of the family and Plinton Curry Funeral Home, we're listening doves today for our loved one. We'll explain the meaning of the doves at the funeral. The white dove is a symbol of peace, hope, and freedom. The releasing of doves at the funeral signifies the peaceful release and onward journey of the spirit of our loved one. In this first heart-shaped basket, I have a single white dove representing our loved one. In the second basket, I have more doves representing the heavenly host of angels, guiding the spirit of our loved one on her journey home to heaven. At this time, there's a poem to be read. This is the words are being spoken.
Oh, see. Yeah. My star in heaven. We are sending a few doves to heaven with a parcel on their wings. Be careful when you open it, it's full of beautiful things. Inside are millions of kisses wrapped up in a million hugs. To say how much we miss you and to send you all our love. We hold you close within our hearts, and there you will remain to walk with us throughout our lives until we meet again.
Amen.
Amen.
A special song chosen by the family. We'll let from the release of doves.
Yeah, so play the third song.
You have, not this one?
No, okay. The next one.
You got this guy.
No.
My Chemical Romance.
It's called Helena.
Oh. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Helena.
Okay.
Just like the horse you died again and again. We are so far from you. Burning on, just like a match, striking incinerate the lives of everyone you know. And what's the worst temptation from every heart you break? It's a better if I stay so long and
Just tell everybody.
so long.
Want me to tell them? Now. The family wants us all to know there's a repast following the service at Sahara in Manville, 337 North Main Street, Manville, New Jersey. Thank you. I'll play the third song now, okay? Thanks for the embrace. You got it.
Make it bend and break. Say a prayer, but let the good times roll. In case God doesn't show. Looking forward to the future. When I saw it is going by, and these crystal balls. It's always cloudy except for when you look into the past. One night stay.
I know a lot of people ask me the significance of the song.
Finding out. We still go first. What I find, I thought it was jump in there for take a bunch of you guys, two if you want.
I'm working. I was thinking like, yeah. I'm working. I'm working.
Bernadette, is this your cooler? I didn't know where to be.
I'm working. We didn't have a truck. What we could do, we could pull all the flowers out separately. I don't know if we allow them back there.
Oh.
You were afraid to go. Okay. Can you? Yeah. I'll put you right now. Really,